Today, we are in the offseason officially, and the Mets make the first signing out of everyone on the major league level. Dylan Covey, you are now a New York Met. We're going to break that down on this edition of Mets Digest. What's going on, everybody? My name is Flobo Boyce. You are locked into the best channel for Mets news and notes. Mets Digest. Myself, alongside Mike D'Angelo, we work tirelessly to give you the best content you need. So if you're watching this right now, you gotta do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're in the know of what's going on. Because frankly, without you, this channel will cease to exist. And yeah, just like that, as I record this, it's Halloween. I'm not sure if you guys do costumes. I'm not sure if you guys do the candy thing, but I'm already feeling the off-season vibes. The World Series is officially over. I guess congrats to the Los Angeles Dodgers, because I would not say congrats to the New York Yankees. In 5 games, it's now official, which means the offseason period is here. And the Mets did something pretty amazing, no pun intended. They were the first team to have a deal announced in the throes of the offseason when they said, actually, that they made their first signing, and that is Dylan Covey of currently, the Philadelphia Phillies is now heading to Queens. A pitching reliever idea for next year is now going to be part of the New York Metropolitans. And before we get into what makes Dylan great or what makes him a fit for the team, I just want to say this means so much to me as a Mets fan. And I know there's been a lot of comparisons about the Wilpons and the current administration, but when have you ever heard the Mets making a change this early? When have you ever heard the Mets acquiring someone this early? When have you ever heard the Mets are actually working behind the scenes while the season is still ongoing to make sure they have something locked away on day one? David Stearns and company has shown us a lot about what they want to do for next year, and I, for one, am down for it. But yes, Dylan Covey here. Here is someone that has basically been bounced around the league, and maybe you forgot about him. He's a hometown kid of those living in Los Angeles, actually played for the Dodgers, even though he is from Glendale, which is about 9 miles north of Los Angeles, but I still think that counts. Here's someone now who's been from the Brewers to the White Sox to recently the Phillies organization, and now he is the first signing of the 2024 to 2025 offseason. So this right here is going to be kind of in line with a lot of the things that David Stern has done. As being the president of baseball operations, the money that is spent wasn't a whole lot. He's on a 1-year deal. We'll get into the financials just a little bit later. But this to me seems that they actually are working. No one's falling asleep. We're not doing the memes where we're going, what's going on with you guys? This one comes from SNY TV. Alex Smith and the team has really pegged this down succinctly. They said the Mets added some pitching depth on Thursday. 33-year-old right-handed Dylan Covey to the 1-year Major League contract over the span of 5 Major League seasons. Covey has pitched for the White Sox, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, and most recently the Phillies organization. He's worked both as a starter and a reliever over the course of his career, making 100 appearances. That's including 46 starts with a 6.18 career ERA. Woof. And 6.3 strikeouts per 9 innings. Covey did not appear in the majors last season as he was recovering from a right shoulder strain. In 18 minor league appearances, Covey pitched a 2.66 ERA with 19 strikeouts and 9 walks and 20.1 innings. And so, doesn't sound all that impressive on the surface. I'll be honest with you. A 6.18 career ERA, yikes. Being on the shelf last season with a shoulder issue, also not good, but so was Kodai Senga for the majority of the season before he got brought back. But there's one thing like we said earlier, I do have some faith in not only our pitching lab, but the idea of David Stearns, or the president of baseball operations, or the front office, taking these chances on what we were calling on previous videos reclamation projects. You think about the pitching situation. We have to replace an Ottavino, who is most likely done after this season. We would have to come up with an idea for Maton if you don't decide to keep him on for that relief and to shore up our relievers as we try to roll into what our rotation is going to be. Yes, this is not going to be the end-all be-all. I can almost see the comments now saying, what about Corbin Burns? What about Blake Snell? There's still time for that if that would be the case, but you still need some arms on the other side, on the relief to build that bridge to what seemingly be Edwin Diaz's still role. Looks like he's going to be the closer in 2025. And so I got to give some credit for the front office of that. But to give more context, I just want to hear some ESPN. They go in more detail about how Covey can add to the team. It says he elected free agency on October 10th. His right as a player who was not restored to a 40-man roster and would have been eligible for salary arbitration if not on that very roster. Covey is 7-32 with a 6.18 and 46 starts, 54 relief appearances. I think the 54 relief appearances are going to be a lot more critical for the Mets. I do think that he'll be in a reliever role. I'm just speculating here as we're still trying to figure out what our rotations are going to be. Over the 5 major league seasons with the Chicago White Sox in 17-19, in Boston in 2020, the shortened season, the Los Angeles Dodgers last year, and the Phillies last year as well, striking out 214 and walking 133 in 307 innings. So he's able to work innings when healthy, which is also something that we struggled with last season. A lot of times when they started was knocked out early, it seemed the game was automatically lost. We need more long relief. Adrian Hauser was our guy last season for that, but he's obviously no longer on the squad. Covey has 60 strikeouts and 33 walks over 89 innings as a reliever, going 2-5 with a 4.33. He pitched with Rakuten in Taiwan from 2021 to 2022. So here's the upside. Here's someone that has major league experience. Here's somebody who's pitched internationally, and here's somebody who looks like they're able to be coached with the pitching lab, with the pitching staff, with next season. And you're in a situation where you'll be giving a chance with spring training invitation to make the main roster to get you back into the major league fold, but you'll still have some opportunities in high and low leverage while the team figure out its 2025 plan. Can't knock it. I feel like everyone wins when it comes to that. But I go, okay, this is great, but I wouldn't be angry if you're thinking this seems like a quote-unquote dumpster dive. Look, I understand that every pitching signing is going to be a 5-star pitcher, but the stats here don't really impress me. They don't wow me. And even though I have a lot of faith in what the team can do now, which is something I didn't have years ago, I also wonder what the financial impact was going to be. Again, we have so much money coming off the books, over $177 million. We do have some room to spend, but let's think about what we're spending for Covey. So last year on the Philly squad, less than $1 million, $850,000. I think he made about $100,000 less than that with the LA Dodgers the year prior. So here's somebody who's going to be on a 1-year contract. We don't know the terms as of now. We will over the next day or so as they come to light, but judging by what he made last year, nothing crazy out the box. So this here is another issue of something that is low risk, high reward. There is an opportunity for somebody who may on their own need try to find their groove back to get themselves into an everyday or 25 or 26-man roster situation, but at the same time, it's not going to cost the team a whole bunch of money. I know some people kind of write this off as being a small market thinking, but ultimately, if you're going to have a payroll as large as the Mets have in the past couple of years, you got to be able to fill out the corners when you can if you want to get those high ticket signings. I'm talking about Juan Soto. Of course, you heard what he was saying after the game, Game 5 of the World Series today, saying he's open to being picked up by all 30 teams. He's listening to the best deal. I don't think that's somebody who's going to be okay with a deferred contract. Homeboy wants his money. So you got to be able to put yourself in the situation. And as of right now, the Yankees, the Mets, and Dodgers have the money, they have the knowledge, they have the chutzpah to actually offer him a deal. Nothing has been official yet, but you think if you're trying to build a team around someone without breaking the bank, you're going to have to fill in some of the positions you need with some of those day players, much like how Dylan Covey that we've used in the team if he makes it to the main roster. Again, spring training is the audition for everyone. He is coming off a shoulder injury. It's not guaranteed. Anything can happen. But if he gets to the main roster, he will be an absolute steal for the Mets if they want to put themselves in the position to go after big free agents that can really put them over the top, like a Snell, like a Corbin Burns, like a Juan Soto. So let me know what you think. First signing from any major league team. We beat the Soler going to the Angels signing by about 2 hours. of the offseason comes to the New York Mets, it does feel like a different energy is in the air. I know it's hard after the end of the season. I think we'll be back next year. But the fact that David Stearns and company aren't sleeping makes me feel just a little bit dope about everything. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, it is LJM to the bitter end.